Welcome back to the Affaka Show. NFL Week 12. It is insane that we are here. We are going to hop right into the games. Don't you worry. Right now, we're about to hit halftime for the Bills-Texans game at the time of filming. Look, let's start it off. One of the best games of the week. And if you're new here, thank you for joining us on this, what we like to call an adventure. And like and subscribe. You already know what to do. First game up, New York Giants against the Detroit Lions. Now, look, people, this is going to be our 1 p.m. game. This is going to be the Lions minus 10.5. The spread's huge. 76% of the tickets and 86% of the money is back in this Lions team. I mean, last week was embarrassing. The offense itself never got into a rhythm. Now, could this have been the weather? Probably. Could it perhaps been the Eagles' defense? Even more probably. Either way, we've seen this happen to the Lions teams. Bits and pieces here and there, where they don't actually move the ball, although they have the most explosive offense in the NFL. So it's something to just go ahead and keep an eye out for. And oh my God, Davis Mills just scored a touchdown with 5 seconds left. Flag? Well, everyone, my Bills bet might be dead. That's fine, because we're focusing on the here and now. Detroit, they couldn't sustain drives, and also they could not convert the fourth downs. I give my props to Dan Campbell, because sometimes you open up a piece of Campbell soup and you just keep it consistent for all those years. He's keeping it consistent for all these years. He kept trying to do fourth down conversions, and it was not working. It was just not working. The defense did keep them alive. Now, either their defense was playing well or Philly's offense is just truly broken, but they held Philly to 16 points, I believe, or 13 points. Oh, God. There's two burps, people. We did a lot of eating before this. Now, it just kind of fell apart for the Lions. It all fell apart for the Lions. Jared Goff, he has some flow now, which is cool. Jameis Winston, though, played for the Giants last week. It was fantastic. It wasn't your typical Jameis game. He had a pretty good game. He was 19 for 29, 201 yards, and 1 interception. But that was a game-tying touchdown pass that he was throwing, and then Hyatt just didn't run the rest of the route. It was bad, and it was embarrassing. The Giants, they covered, right? What else do you want from the Giants? They covered 7.5 point dogs from the Packers themselves, but their offense, it just lacked inconsistency and identity. But the key aspect here is what we have to tell ourselves, because we've seen this Detroit team, we've bet them in 2 exact spots where they had this same type of game. And now it's Jared Goff and Dan Campbell. If you go, oh, here he goes with the stat again. It's 2-0 last time I presented it, people. So maybe let's listen up. They're 17, 12, and 1 straight up, and 22 and 8 ATS off of a straight up loss. So they've won and covered, however, 13 in a row dating back to November 5th of 2022. Goff, but primetime, it just doesn't matter. I just have here, he is also 4-0 ATS. Whenever he is a double-digit favorite, he's 4-0 ATS 2021. So it's one of those weird things where, you see the double digits, you go, it's going to be dogfight, you have to bet the dog share. No. You bet the favorite in this spot. Now, my prediction right here, I'm going to keep riding this trend with this Dan Campbell team, with this Jared Goff team against this bad teams that they're playing the following week. I understand. But 10.5 is a lot. Buckle up, buckaroo. We're going to be betting the Detroit Lions at minus 10.5 and just hold on for dear life like you're Sally on a roller coaster. Look, it's fun. It's fun what we do here, and I enjoy it. Cleveland, though, is a place that hasn't had much fun. However, they're playing the Raiders. They haven't had much fun either. Both teams with only 2 wins. It's not looking grim. They're going to face off here, so I was going to say one of them is probably going to have another win. Tie may be inbound. Right now, the Raiders are minus 3.5, and there are 17% of the bets and 31% of the money backing them. The question that we are going to ponder for this game is, Shedeur Sanders, fraud or nah? Fraud or nah? Fraud or nah? I will find out what my prediction is, right? Last week, this Raiders defense got rolled from the start. Sure, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, they had some fun in Vegas. Fun. I would have loved to have been there, but they didn't invite me. And they even played the first drive. I think they might have got away with a field goal or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. As soon as they stepped on the field, the game was over. Their defense could not do anything from this Raiders team. They're outmatched on every single level, all three sides of the football. Their offense could not function behind this offensive line. And now we've heard this story before. It is bad, and I personally knew it was bad, right? I'm surface level into football. I'm not going to draw you up plays. I just like betting it, and I knew it was bad, but this is a stat that really made it bad. Oh, is it the fact that Geno Smith took 4 sacks and gave up a safety? No. It's the fact that Ashton Genty's longest carry was 11 yards, and he ended up with 6 carries for 7 yards. What? That doesn't make sense. Let me repeat, because no judgment here. Ashton Genty has 6 carries for 7 yards, yet his longest rush was 11 yards. It's a disaster up front. Can't expect him to do anything. It's also a disaster for the Browns team, if I'm being transparent with you. Dillon Gabriel's now out. And we will all be, oh, Dillon Gabriel's tall enough. I'm saying that, and I am short. And I'm saying that. I do not have a lot of height to me. A lot of times when I walk up to people, they go, "You're short." And I go, "Yeah." And then the conversations from there never really turn out well. But look, sometimes you got to realize what you got. Shedeur Sanders stepped in. He finished 4 for 16, 47 yards, and an interception. He never found his rhythm. And he could only convert like this Browns offense that have some good times within the first half before Shedeur, and they could only get field goals, not touchdowns. You need 7s, not 3s to win in this game. And their defense did give them every single chance to win, but they forced multiple turnovers, like I said. They sacked Lamar Jackson 5 times, which is insane. And Derrick Henry did run on them, though. 18 carries for 103 yards. But the key aspect to watch out for in this game is exactly that Browns defense. And it's their splits home and away that make the alarm bells go off. At home, they only give up 15.4 points per game. Away, they give up 31.4 points. Home, 15.4. Away, 31.4. So the question here is, it's away. Sure, this Raiders offense is not great. Sure, it's actually horrible. And sure, you would think that they probably wouldn't be able to move the ball that well against this team. But look, if we are just being honest, if we were just getting crystal here, I do love the Raiders to win by 3.5 or more. So I'm going to take the Raiders. I'm going to lay the number with them, right? This Browns team, again, I'm just betting that Shedeur sucks. That's my whole bet. That's my entire bet is that Shedeur Sanders sucks. You know who doesn't suck? Drake May. He's having a fantastic year. We have New England taking on Cincinnati right now, 1 o'clock start. 6.5-point dogs at Cincinnati. 28% of the bets and 26% of the tickets backing them. And now Joe Flacco, we don't think he's going to play. Oh, but then who do they have? Is it back to Browning? I want to talk about his girlfriend, but I can't. No. It's not back to Browning. We were going to kick this bad boy to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow with just modern science coming in. Like, basically, Bill Nye, the science guy, just looked at Joe Burrow and said, we're going to fix this, and we're going to get you playing football again. And that's exactly what happened. He is back ahead of schedule. Now, he's not officially back. I'm making a hypothetical. This is going to come out to the masses. Maybe tonight or maybe Friday morning. I'm not sure, but can you please keep watching it to the end, please? That's all I ask for. Even if you mute me. He's going to be back in my head because that's why I bet it. And he's going to have a major impact on this game. Sure, he is better than Joe Flacco. He might not be like, oh my God, Lead's better than Joe Flacco because the weakness of the team is just the defense, if we're being honest. Because Joe Flacco was able to move the ball, put up tons of points. But the weakness of this team is the defense. But if we're focusing on offense, which we are now because I read a bullet in my notes before I was actually supposed to, is his morale is going to boost everyone up. This Bengals team is not fully out of it for the AFC North. That's the craziest part. They're not fully out of it. So a little bit of a Joe Burrow juice, a little 30 cc's right here, might be a long way. Now, there's no Jamar Chase, and the Bengals did go 0-2 in the red zone. It was just a bad week for the Bengals. I mean, really just as simple as that. Bad week for the Bengals. They just scored 12 points, and they were 0-2 in the red zone. That's going to change when Joe Burrow comes to town. But the defense sucks. That's just the end-all be-all is the defense sucks. Mason Rudolph even came in and carved them up on Pittsburgh. The visitors, you have New England Patriots. They basically dominated the Jets on Thursday Night Football, and they're on a generational tear. Drake May is playing absolutely insane. They're on an 8-game win streak, averaging 29 points per game within that win streak. It seems like no matter what happens, no matter who they're faced, everyone keeps discounting them, and they go, you know what? Maybe they are good. And then they destroy. We've even seen Travion Henderson really pop within these past couple of games. I think they just kind of decide, you know what? I'm just done with the whole fact that he can't block. He's fast. Let's just put him on the football field. And Ramondre Stevenson, sorry, kid, you might be losing your job. And the key aspect of this game is New England going to slip up? And at the end of the day, that's the question. Teams that are on an 8+ game win streak straight up are 39, 61, and 2, ATS 39% since 2010, including 11, 20, and 1 since 2020. So at some point, you have to expect regression. Now, I love the fact that you can actually bet against this team, maybe because they are a little bit undervalued to market to whoever they're playing, but you can actually bet them, against them when you're facing a dog of 6 points. So I love it here. I love the Bengals. It's huge. It's huge, people. It's big time. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, okay, we went through 3 game picks. It's typically the time for story time. We're going to be doing story time live because next week on the TikTok, because I honestly don't have any stories prepared because I didn't have enough time to prepare for this. But what are you going to do so the cookie crumbles? We have Tampa Bay taking on the LA Rams. My intro notes are crumbled, so what we have to really understand is that this line has just been bouncing from 6.5 to 7. The Rams are the favorites, which makes a little bit of pause because when you're thinking about it, you think Baker Mayfield. And that's what the public's thinking too, because they're backing the Buccaneers here with 67% of the bets and 65% of the ticket, 65% of the cheddar cheese backing them. That is the money. That's the way I say it sometimes for TikTok, so it doesn't flag my posts. And now the Rams, they found a way to win on an uneven offensive performance. Sure, they are coming off a big win against the Seattle team, but when you're looking deeper into it, they had a lot of turnovers in their own territory or started with fantastic field position. So the fact that they couldn't score more points really brings together 2 core ideas. And that's the core idea of this Seahawks defense is, oh my God, legit. Or this Rams offense, maybe they can get chunk plays. I don't know if they can move the ball. They might just not be able to move the ball like the one bully whenever he plays dodgeball and hits the nerd, and then the nerd grows up and becomes a billionaire. I don't know if he can move it like that nerd. He can't. He can't move it like the bully, though. People, what am I saying? I'm losing my mind, but I'm happy you're doing it with me. Now, he did not get his 4-touchdown win streak. Bad. But he had a 4-touchdown win streak, which is more than I've ever had. And their defense did deliver when it mattered. They were able to make the stops on the Seahawks team and forced 4 interceptions on Sam Darnold, which is super impressive. It was a pretty but ugly win, but pretty win at the same time. But you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it was bad for them last week because they were kind of up even within the fourth quarter and thinking, oh, Baker Magic, here we go. And then Josh Allen took over the game. But let me just be crystal with you. One game that Josh Allen's not taking over is his Texans game, which I bet a week before at -2.5 and -3. And I'm going to be so upset because I have put a lot of money on responsibly. I put a lot of money on this Buffalo team. So they better figure this out now. And Baker's crumbling. He showed us finally the flashes that we needed, though. We needed Baker to scramble like eggs last week, and he actually run for a first down, which gives the backyard football energy back. He might be having fun, but it's still no consistency, no rhythm. He doesn't really have his playmakers out there. Mike Evans isn't healthy. Igbuka's still dealing with injury. And where is Chris Godwin? That's what I want to know. That's what Penelope wants to know. And look, let's just be honest with you. I've never been to France. The defense is the real concern here. They're able to do fantastic still on the rushing side of the ball. I think they held James Cook to under 45 yards rushing. I want to say he had 43 yards rushing. But it's the passing is what absolutely scares me in this spot right here. The passing, it scares me. Now, they could have just got Josh Allen. Josh Allen could just flat out steamroll them, been fantastic. But they're going to have to go against another top tier, again, we think top tier defense, or just a Seahawks defense, a top tier offense. We don't know. It might be a tough game hangover. But look, Sean McVay with the Rams, you're thinking, oh, they're coming off a big divisional win. Maybe it's more of a look-ahead spot with how this Tampa Bay team has been declining. Not the case here. The Rams are 34-17 straight up and 30-17-4 ATS after playing an NFC West opponent, and they do even better after they play the Seahawks because basically they just own them. Kind of like I used to own a Tamagotchi in the day, they own them. And the Rams, they play tough. They're averaging 27.2 points per game this season, 2025. But the defenses, they've been fine, not fantastic. So I've wrestled with this spot. I really have. I really think that Tampa's going to cover here. However, what the line is telling me is, well, just hold on a second because I'm not sure what's going to happen. And truthfully, I don't know what's going to happen either. But in my head, and what I've been seeing right now, I want to take this Rams team because the line's so fishy. Then I thought, well, we have an autoplay here. I looked deeper into the line. I did the digging like a gold miner for the 49ers. That's going to be a smooth transition, but I did a little bit too early. I'm going to play the autoplay I do every single primetime under 49.5 and just root for a terrible game. Yes, I am a horrible person that I'm wishing this upon all of us to have, but I don't care. I want my money. I like money. I just do. I just flat out like it. We have the Carolina Panthers taking on the San Francisco 49ers for our Monday Night Football game. That's going to be played, 8:15 Monday night? Right now, the San Francisco 49ers are 7-point favorites. 66% of the tickets and 61% of the money is back in the Niners. And they destroyed the Cardinals last week. I mean, Jacoby Brissett, sure, he had the most passing completions in NFL history, which could be a red flag for the defense. However, the Niners did score 41 points. So flat out, the Niners did great. Brock showed you why he is better than Mac Jones. 200 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. There's a burp for you. I don't know if it came in there, and 0 interceptions. The whole season, though, it's felt like this Niners team has just been super injured, which isn't good. My injuries are not good, but they're 7-4, so they're winning a lot of games. I mean, if you were to tell me, hey, they can win this game, they'd be 8-4. They're looking pretty. Brock's healthy, Kittle's healthy. I don't know, but I could see a possible run coming, given how easy their schedule is. The Panthers team, they're getting hot, dun, like Michael Scott in The Office. Young had his career game. 148 yards, 3 touchdowns in his last game against the Falcons, and it felt like they're in full control. This team might have a chance to capture the NFC South, especially with how bad the Buccaneers have been playing and how tough their schedule is. They could actually run away with something here, people, and I think that's important for us to focus on. But overall, who have they really played? They haven't really played that many impressive people, and they got blown out by the Saints a couple weeks earlier. Or 2 weeks earlier, so it's just kind of interesting. This is a trap. There's no way the Panthers should be this amount of dogs. I mean, since 2023 at Christmas, the 49ers, they flip-flop, right? They're 1-15 against the spread after an outright win, the worst mark of any team in the NFL. In that span, they're failing to cover points from the spread by 7.7 points. So I'm afraid that with this Niners team, the momentum, it might just shift back over to the Panthers. The line is fishy. So I'm doing a fair warning game. This is not, oh my God, guarantee. I'm going to love this game. But I do love the Panthers to cover the 7, people. I just love it. Let's go. Panthers by 7. And that's a first down from the Bills. We just turned them back on. And honestly, yeah. So look, people, let's focus up. And the end of the game, and the end of the day, that gets us Detroit minus 10.5 favorite. Vegas minus 3.5 favorite. Cincy, our first dog at plus 6.5. Then we have the under 49.5 in the game, and then we also have the Panthers plus 7.5. So 2 dogs, 2 favorites, and an under. I like that a lot. Obviously, if you just want to have a little fun on the money line, you're not going to get anything out of it, but just, Josh Allen rushed for 2 yards. Just go with the Seahawks and the Ravens and then pair them up with someone. All the sharps, I couldn't make myself do a little inside of baseball. All the sharps that I've heard are just beating down this Dallas team. As an Eagles fan, I can't take Dallas. I just don't. I'm also not confident in Dallas. Something weird's going on there, so you probably want to take them. Overall, though, I'm not taking them. Everyone, like and subscribe, please, right now.